My name is Becca. I'm 25 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life right now, at the peak of my confidence. I don't go unnoticed. Wherever I go, people always turn to look at me. This year, I decided to spend a week at my aunt's house, who lives in the countryside. It's always a joy to visit, especially during the end-of-year holidays. My aunt lives with my cousin Raphael, and even though we grew up together, it's been a while since we've seen each other regularly. He's also in his best shape, and like me, more attractive than ever. On the very first day of my arrival, I noticed something different in the air. Raphael greets me with a look I didn't expect. From the moment I step into the house, I notice that he watches me with a gaze that goes beyond family affection. I'm wearing a light dress that highlights my curves, and it's impossible for him to look away. Every year-end, I usually visit my aunt who lives in the countryside, away from the city. She lives with my cousin Raphael, who's the same age as me. When we were kids, we spent a lot of time together, but we drifted apart, and now we hardly talk. Still, every year-end I go there to enjoy the Christmas and New Year holidays. It's always a great chance to relax and escape the fast pace of the city. This time was no different. I arrive at the farm with my bags, ready to unwind and enjoy the peace. As soon as I get out of the car, I feel the warmth of the day and admire the greenery around me. The place is a true haven. My aunt greets me with a warm hug, as she always does, but I notice something different. Raphael is on the porch when I arrive, and he looks at me in a way I didn't expect. It's not the casual glance of a cousin who hasn't seen his cousin in a long time. He scans me from head to toe, lingering, and it's impossible not to notice the interest. He seems surprised, as if I were a completely different person since the last time we met. At that moment, I realize I can have some fun with the situation. Raphael has changed a lot since we last saw each other. He's no longer the boy I used to run around the farm with. Now, he's a more mature, stronger man, and his expression reveals that he's left any innocence behind. The way he looks at me stirs something inside me, a desire to provoke, to test the limits and see how far he can handle. I walk into the house smiling, pretending I don't notice how much he's fixated on me. I know he's nervous, and that only increases my desire to keep going. My aunt, always attentive, has already prepared everything in the guest room to make me feel comfortable. She tells me she'll be working all day and will only return at night, which means Raphael and I will be spending a lot of time alone. The setting couldn't be more perfect for what I have in mind. My aunt, as thoughtful as ever, had the guest room ready before she left for work. She mentions she won't be back until late after a long day at the family store. Knowing I'll be home alone with Raphael, I can't help but let certain thoughts cross my mind. From the moment I arrived, I'd already planned how to tease him, playing with that light tension that has always existed between us. The first day seems like the perfect opportunity to start. As soon as I step into the room and organize my things, I decide to put on something more comfortable. I choose a snug bikini that accentuates my curves and a beach cover-up that barely covers what's necessary. The intense heat and strong sun are the perfect excuse to head outside to the pool. When I open the door, I find Raphael sitting by the pool, distracted with his phone and unaware of my arrival. A mischievous smile spreads across my face, already knowing exactly what to do. I approach slowly, starting a casual conversation about the heat and the sun. He soon puts down his phone and begins to talk to me, without suspecting anything. Then, quite naturally, I ask him to help me apply sunscreen. "Could you put some on my back?" I ask, handing him the bottle and turning my back, making it clear that I wouldn't take no for an answer. He seems surprised but agrees. I know he'll get nervous, but I want to see how far he'll go. I lean forward, exposing my back well, and feel his hands trembling at first, as if he doesn't know where to touch. With every glide of the cream, I subtly move, accentuating my curves while carefully ensuring he doesn't get too close to certain areas. It's a controlled tease. His hands gain more confidence, and he starts applying the sunscreen more firmly, moving up my back and down to my waist. With every touch, I feel the tension building. Raphael tries to maintain his composure, but his breathing grows heavier, and I notice he's becoming increasingly flustered. Even so, He continues, perhaps out of curiosity, perhaps out of desire. I pretend not to notice how nervous he is, keeping the casual conversation going as if everything is innocent. However, I can sense his hesitation as he approaches more sensitive areas. I shift positions without ever letting him touch where I know he wants to. It's a game, and I'm in control. After spending a few hours enjoying the pool, I decide it's time for a more relaxed moment. I tell Raphael that I'm going to take a quick shower and then watch a movie. I casually ask if he'd like to join me, and as I expected, he accepts without hesitation. I take my shower, dry off, and put on a loose tank top and comfortable mesh shorts, something that discreetly yet provocatively highlights my curves. I return to the living room, where he's already waiting for me. We sit on the couch, with the TV on a random movie that's already playing, but my attention is far from the screen. Gradually, I adjust my position on the couch, leaving my curves and parts of my body more exposed to him. The tank top I'm wearing is so loose that with every movement, more of my body is revealed. I catch Raphael's stealing glances, trying to disguise it, but clearly focused on every detail that slips out from under my clothes. With a mischievous smile, I ask if he would like to give me a massage, mentioning that I'm a bit tired after the day at the pool. He agrees, still a bit shy, but I know that desire and curiosity are present. I lie down on the living room rug, positioning myself to highlight my curves while he begins to massage my back, hesitating at first. However, I soon realize his mind is focused on other things. Feeling the atmosphere heat up, I decide it's time to take things further. With a quick gesture, I pull off the tank top. I look at him with a teasing smile and say it's better this way, without the top, for him to enjoy the massage more. The impact is immediate. I feel his desire grow, but he continues, visibly nervous. The massage becomes bolder, with hands that were once uncertain now exploring my body with more confidence. With each touch, it feels like the atmosphere grows warmer and the desire between us intensifies. He tries to maintain control, but the heavy breathing and the pressure of his body against mine reveal that the tension is escalating. With every movement I make, I provoke him further, and I can see how much it excites him. His effort to hold on is increasingly evident, but I know it won't be long before he fully surrenders to the situation. Raphael, with a mischievous smile, remarks that for a real massage, I should take everything off. I pretend to think for a moment, but deep down, I already know what I want. I say that I'll remove my clothes while he goes to get some lotion, trying to sound casual but clearly having an idea of what's to come. I take the moment to prepare myself, and when he returns, I'm no longer wearing anything at all. My heart races, and the anticipation of how he will react makes me even more excited. Upon returning, I notice he has also taken off his shirt, now just in his shorts. He approaches with a confidence that shows he knows exactly what to do. Without saying a word, he sits on top of me, and the firm weight of his body is impossible to ignore. The shorts barely conceal what he's feeling. The massage begins, and his hands glide over my back with desire and firmness. Each touch sends shivers down my spine, and I can feel the tension building between us. The silence is only broken by our sighs as his breathing grows heavier and his body becomes warmer. With every movement, he presses down more, pushing his body against mine. I can clearly feel his excitement through his shorts, and suddenly he stops for a moment. I think he might pull back, perhaps realizing we are going too far, but instead, he pulls away the towel that covered my body. Upon seeing that I'm not wearing anything, his eyes light up with surprise and desire. I expect some hesitation or maybe a comment, but all he does is smile confidently, as if he knows exactly what comes next. "I'm going to continue the massage my way," he says, and the confidence in his voice only heightens my anticipation. This time, when he climbs back on top of me, I notice that he has also removed everything. The direct contact between our bodies is intense, and I feel the heat radiating from every inch of him against me. The desire is palpable, and the tension between us grows with every touch, every movement. The pressure and his presence are impossible to ignore, and it feels like everything around us fades away, leaving just the two of us. Raphael begins to move slowly, while his hands continue exploring my body in a way that is no longer just a massage. What's happening now is a game of desire, a tension charged with clear intentions. He firmly turns me to face him, wasting no time, and starts kissing me passionately. The way his lips move against mine makes the heat within me grow irresistibly. In the middle of the kiss, he pauses and, with a teasing smile, whispers in my ear, "This is going to be one of the best weeks of my life." His words make me smile, feeling the promise of more moments like this. I gaze deep into his eyes, feeling the connection between us intensify, and with confidence, I caress his face and say, "If it isn't, I'll make it so, don't worry." He leans closer with a playful grin and asks, "Did you like your cousin?" Laughing, but quickly closing the distance between us, he runs his hands over my waist and pulls me closer. "Did I like you? You drive me completely crazy, cousin. Let's make this our most dangerous secret." Those words spill from his mouth with a mix of desire and provocation, and I can't resist. The way he speaks ignites a sense of excitement and power within me, as if the secret we would share made everything more intense and forbidden, heightening the risk and attraction. With each passing second, the desire between us grows, uncontrollable. There's no more room for hesitation, and we fully surrender to the moment, making love right there on the living room floor. The contrast between the cold floor and the warmth of our bodies makes everything even more thrilling. Each touch, each kiss, each sigh carries the intensity of something that has been held back for far too long, perhaps for days or even weeks. The place, once simple and ordinary, now transforms into the backdrop of one of the most intense moments I've ever experienced. His body responds to mine so naturally, as if we're in perfect harmony, our movements synchronized, every breath heavy filling the space, mingled with the low moans escaping from both of us. The fact that we're doing something forbidden in a place where we could be discovered at any moment adds an extra layer of excitement to what we're experiencing. The danger becomes fuel for our desire. We lose track of time, as if the world around us has vanished. It doesn't matter where we are or how much time passes. The only thing that truly makes sense is what we're living together in that moment. When we finally reach our peak, a wave of pleasure washes over our bodies, making us tremble and our hearts race even faster. As I realize he's about to release, I want to prolong that instant to stretch the pleasure for just a few more moments. With a deep look and a mischievous smile, I whisper for him to hold on a little longer. I want to savor every second. He takes a deep breath, visibly trying to control himself, but I know it's difficult. His body trembles with tension, his moans grow more intense, and his voice comes out hoarse, laden with desire. "It's hard to hold back with you, cousin. You're not just any woman." His words hit me like a shock. Something in the way he says them sends shivers through my entire body. The connection between us is palpable, and as much as he tries, I know he won't be able to resist much longer. The intensity of what we're experiencing is simply impossible to contain. And that's exactly what happened. No sooner had he finished speaking than, in a few seconds, his body completely surrendered. The floor around us became marked, covered in a thick white trace, the result of everything he had been holding back, finally released all at once. The amount surprises me, revealing how long he had been waiting for this moment we shared. We both lay there, breathless and exhausted, for a while. I feel his chest rising and falling rapidly as he tries to catch his breath. The room is now silent, but it's that good silence that only comes after intense moments. The heat of our bodies blends with the surroundings, and I can feel his heart still beating strongly against mine. For a moment, we both just savor that post-intensity moment, unhurried, simply enjoying what we have just experienced. I know this is forbidden, that we are treading on dangerous territory, but that only makes everything more irresistible. The fact that we have to be quick, that everything must be done in secret, adds to the excitement. Every second is precious, and I know we can't stay here much longer. With a sigh, we slowly get up, aware that we need to take a quick shower before my aunt gets home. If she finds us like this, it will be the end of everything. We head to the bathroom, lightly laughing at the adrenaline still coursing through our bodies. The hot water falls over us, washing our bodies and erasing any trace of what we've done. The atmosphere between us is relaxed, as if we're already accustomed to these intense and secret moments. While we shower, he comments on how risky it was, but at the same time, how irresistible. I simply smile, agreeing. We know that what we have is complicated, that we shouldn't continue, but we also know how good it is. It's not just the physical pleasure, it's the thrill of breaking rules, living something that no one could ever imagine. That makes it even more addictive. The whole trip was like that. It wasn't just once that something happened between us. Every day there was filled with intense and unexpected encounters. There were moments when we almost got caught, and others when desire took over, and we couldn't hold back. With each encounter, our connection deepened, and the desire only grew. But those are other stories, which I'll leave to tell another time. What I can say is that this trip brought much more than simple moments of pleasure. Those were unforgettable days, filled with passion, tension, and that forbidden desire we know we shouldn't have, but it's impossible to resist.